Hello everybody, welcome back. Gorbash Yeti here. Some more Dark Souls PvP, battling in the arena again. This is part 2 of that series. And a few of my thoughts on the arena. I probably mentioned in the previous video, I'm not too fond of the arena. In my opinion, it takes far too long to be summoned. You often will run into the same guy over and over again, which, sure, after one or two fights can be an advantage. You can pick up on the different tactics that they use and be able to counter those tactics. But overall, for me, it just ends up getting a little bit more boring as you go on. So I thought you can effectively do the same thing in a 3-minute battle. You know, if you can pick up on what your opponent's doing within the first 1 or 2 times that you beat him, then that's pretty good. So the other thing is, as I mentioned before in the first video, there's not a lot of incentive here to fight in the arena. So I'm not. A lot of people, when they're, a lot of people in the Dark Souls community, in my experience, once you've played through the game a few times, the game has great replay value, and there's a lot of things to do, specifically with regards to PvP, but you're not going to need the souls, you're not going to need the humanity, you've got everything that you need, so that might be one reason to come and battle in the arena. Also, and it's a theory that I haven't tested out yet, but I believe that if you leave the arena, if you quit out of your game and, come back, if you had to go do something, whatever the case may be, you shut off power to your system and have to reload, you leave for a different area because you've ran out of poison daggers and you've got to go buy some more, you've ran out of grass because you've got to go buy some more, or you've got a lot in your bottomless box but you've got to go back to the bonfire and replenishment. I believe that any of those things will reset your win streak, which is why I don't understand. I believe it may be in this set or it's in the previous set of videos, a guy actually quits out, and I don't know why you would want to quit out unless you had to go for some reason, but if you're quitting out just to preserve your win streak, and your win streak's going to get reset anyway, it's kind of redundant, and it's really not going to work for you. So I guess maybe that's the mitigating factor for the arena battle system, is, FromSoft decided to make it so anytime you leave the area, your streak is reset, then people won't leave the area. So I'm going to have to test that theory out, and also I think I'm going to leave this set of arena battle videos series just one day, take my guy into the arena and see how many win streaks I can get not before losing, because I want to be able to go down and check the leaderboard and see how far up I've made it. But that's kind of a risky maneuver. If I lose at any time, that set of videos is over, and I'm going to have to show you, if I have to just show you guys one loss, one fight of me losing, then that's what's going to happen. But hopefully we get a pretty good win streak going, and I'm able to record at the end the leaderboard and see if I've actually made it. I'm not going to make it anywhere near the top. I understand that, but we're going to give it a shot. So I also thought I would discuss with you a little bit how I think getting better at Dark Souls PvP and how you can actually do it. If you really want to get better, it's going to take some time. And there's one of two ways you can do it. You can either play offline, not PvP, and play around with a lot of different weapons and learn the movesets of each of different weapons, and go in and do some looking at the armor and figure out the different resistances on different sets of armor and things like that. Or you can just jump right in PvP, and hopefully you'll run into a lot of players that are using a lot of different equipment. I think the latter choice of those two is not the best, in my opinion, because you're not going to run into a lot of different weapons. In my experience, many people in Dark Souls, not the whole community, there's a lot of good players out there that like to try a lot of different stuff, and maybe they're getting bored with the game or what have you, and they just want to switch it up. That's great. I'm all for switching it up. And if you notice in this set of videos, I haven't even, you know, taken my own advice and switched it up. I'm using the Gravelord sword way too much. Mostly because it's comfortable for me. I'm comfortable with the moveset. I know exactly what it's capable of. I know exactly what distances I can keep people at. And it's a very effective weapon. And on the contrary, this guy is using the Gold Tracer, which again you find a lot of people using in Dark Souls PvP. Because it creates that bleed, it's a very fast swing, it's hard to parry. If you've taken a lot of time or practice against it, you can parry it effectively. But it takes some getting used to. You know, a lot of other popular weapons, the katanas are very popular because they're fast. They create that bleed, they can do a lot of damage, like the Chaos Blade. And spears. People like to get behind their shield, turtle up, and poke that spear at you. You can utilize a lot of range with those spears. And so you're not going to get the wide variety of weapons that you would get if you just went in, played a little PvE by yourself, and got the moveset of each of the different weapons and tried them out. It's also going to give you, not quite an advantage, but it's going to give you some advantage to somebody that hasn't done that. And the fact that you can at least look at your opponent and identify the weapon that they are using and know the moveset of that weapon and be able to utilize your build as to counter either the weaknesses or the strengths of that weapon. So you'll see a little later on I switch it up to the Butcher's Knife, but I haven't really got the best of that weapon. I'm not used to its moveset yet, but I will. I'll continue to use it. I like it. It's got a lot of good moves, and I'll talk about those moves later on in the video when I get to that weapon. But like I was saying before, if you're going to fight the same guy over and over again, you at least need to learn their tactics. I can't tell you the number of times I've came up against the same opponent, and they don't change anything. They don't do anything different. They don't recognize what you're trying to do and change it up. And this guy did. Right off the bat, he recognized that I was going to run right past him, run past that shoulder, and go for a backstab, and he kicked me, as he should have. But I don't know why he didn't do it a second time. And I'm not too sure what that miracle was he was using. And I got to get better at identifying those too. I need to do a lot more, either research or experience, or whatever the case may be. But I need to get a little bit better. I believe he's got on the Giant's torso. Using the Wrath of Gods. I just go for the building over there. I'm not sure if I'm describing that 100% correct. I believe that's what it is. Basically, it's an attack that, when you get in that frame, is just right to where their shield's not going to block it 100% of the time. So, and I went ahead and just decided to trade hits with him. This weapon does a lot more damage than my weapon, and I go ahead and lose that battle. Or actually, not lose the battle, but lose that particular concentration. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to drop down. That kills me too. I'm not used to that. And I'm not sure if that changes on you, the location they're going to drop down, or if they drop down every time in the same spot. What I do know is there's a certain period of invincibility, if you will, that where they couldn't just immediately drop down and you know, stand there and shoot a bow at them as they're coming down. So it gives them a couple seconds to, it gives you a couple seconds, gives your opponent a couple seconds to get your bearings before actually getting it, picking an attack. So that's good. And So this guy runs away naked and he's running away. I have no idea why. But I'm going to chase him down. I don't know if he thinks he's winning here because when he wants to bide his time, he could drop down plunging attack. So yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, and also the arena will make you. It does to me. It definitely makes me more aggressive because I've got to go in there and get kill him as many times as I can within the 3-minute time frame, and obtain more kills on him than he gets on me. So it tends to make me a little bit more aggressive, especially when you come down to that 1-minute mark and the crown above your head disappears. And unless you've kept really good track, or you're up by a lot, then you're not sure exactly who's winning at that point. If you both go in there with 2 kills each, then it's anybody's game, and it tends to make you rush a little bit more. Although I don't mind getting draws at all, that doesn't reset your win streak. So it's not all that bad. The last thing I'm going to say about the arena for this video is, the 1v1, the many times you fight the same guy over and over, can be a little bit, not necessarily boring. It's always fun. Playing Dark Souls is always fun. It's a great game. But it doesn't keep me on the edge of my seat nearly as much as when I'm battling in the forest and there's a 2v1 situation, or even when I'm doing random invasions as a dark race, because I don't know what I'm going to run up against. You both drop down in the arena, you assess each other the first time, chances are things are not going to change. It's a 3-minute time frame, you can't put that many fights in a video, and you can be summoned into the forest and that fight can be over in 20 seconds. That way you can add many more fights to your videos, and yeah, that's enough about that. I actually forgot what I was going to say, so we'll move along. And as you can see, I've still stuck with those poison flame knives. I like those things. I like them to keep my distance. Somebody keeps backing you and is going to throw spells at you, you can throw in a quick poison knife, maybe interrupt the spell casting. Or if not, at least they'll catch one and get poisoned, so, it'll still be effective one way or the other. I mean, not that I use this tactic, but if you poison them, you can just, stay a little bit back, dodge what they're throwing at you, and continue to move around, and maybe you've waited enough time to where the poison will finish them off. Or maybe not. But it can be an effective strategy. And I love at the end when, battle's over, first battle over, you can do whatever you want to your opponent and they're not going to get hit, and you can hit me during all my animations, and yeah, it's great. I don't mind one bit. And that right there, that's me running up at him, hopefully trying to bait an attack so I can throw in a quick parry. I don't think it's ever worked. But what it does work for is running up to him, backing off, running up to him, backing off. And then eventually I just decide to run through and do a lock-on backstab, or sort of a pivot backstab where I run past him right there. There it is right there. I didn't know when it was happening, it didn't happen, but it happened. Unfortunately for me, I'm still, somewhat of an idiot and haven't learned to change things up. That's one thing I need to get a little bit better at, is changing my tactics up. Changing up what I'm going to do based on what they're going to do. But yeah, if they don't learn, I'm going to continue to do the same thing because it's effective, it's working for me, it's going to get me the win. So eventually what I would like to do with this character is soul level 99 right now. I thought that would be good to stay in the arena with that soul level. Not because I wanted to be at the top of that bracket so I could get a lot of wins, but just so I don't get creamed. So I can offer a good fight to my opponent who wants to take me on, so I can offer a good challenge and hopefully, you know, come away with a few wins. So I thought soul level 99 would be a good number. I'm not too sure if that's the reason I'm not getting summoned as often. Maybe a lot of people are in a different bracket. But if I go over soul level 100, it's going to put me in the next bracket. And I believe that bracket is from 100 to 200. I could be wrong, so if I am wrong, please correct me, leave me a comment, and let me know. I'm certainly open to constructive criticism. And if I've said something wrong in any of my videos at any time, please feel free to correct me. Or if you see me something that I could do better, you know, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If there's something that you'd like to see in my video series, or if there's a particular weapon or a particular build you'd like to see me utilize, go ahead and let me know. Just leave a comment. And so back to what I was talking about earlier, though. I'm going to take him up to soul level 125, the standard community PvP build, if you will. And hopefully come back to the arena and see how I fare at soul level 125. And I don't think it's going to make much difference. If I run across a 150 guy or a 175 guy or even a 200 guy, I don't think it's going to make that great of a difference just because of the diminishing returns on the stats. You know, you can add, let's say strength in particular, you can add 40 or 50 points in the strength. Once you get over that number, the returns you get for adding a point of strength is very diminished. So once you get over that certain number, there's no reason to go any further because the amount that you're going to have to spend to get that next level isn't really worth it. Doesn't add any extra damage. Doesn't add any. The only thing I can see that might be an issue is where you run into a guy that's invested a lot in vitality. And, you know, hey, you just got to deal some more damage. Okay, so what? You know, they'll try to. But if your tactics are good enough, you're going to outlast them anyway. You're going to outplay them. You're going to get the win. So I don't think it's going to be too much of a burden on me to go ahead and take that on. I'm going to try it, and we'll see what happens. So this guy's got the gold hem set on at least the torso and the hood. No, he sure doesn't. I am completely wrong. The hood is the gold hem hood. And he's got the gold hem leggings. I think he's got the Silver Knight chest piece. Which, you know, maybe he's got an understanding of poise, and so he needed a little bit of poise, so he went with that. I don't know. It doesn't offer much poise, but it is a little bit lighter than the other thing, so, you know, maybe he wants to be able to fast roll. He's using that spider shield, which you get as part of the bandit set, and he's throwing pyromancies, which will be effective only if he's not utilizing them locked on. And the best strategy you can use with pyromancies is try to throw them, you know, use the Chaos Fireball, I believe it is, the one that creates a lava afterwards. Try to throw that near your feet, near the feet of, you know, where you think the opponent's going to run to, where you think the opponent's going to roll to, and then they'll get damaged by the lava, and it can be an effective strategy. Ooh, I threw that poison dagger just the right time as he was just slow to recover from that move. And as you see right there, I've got some pyromancy equipped. I've got Great Combustion. And, you know, I was going to try to be a little bit cheesy and do some wake-up combustion, but I'm not going to do that in the arena. That's kind of cheesy, and the arena is, you know, a dueling platform, if you will, and I just don't necessarily see any need to do that. When I'm in the forest and there's dangers, or there's, you know, 2 people running around waiting to destroy me, then absolutely I'm going to use the wake-up combustion. I'm going to, you know, go ahead and try to grab the backstab, and as they recover, try to, you know, use that wake-up combustion. Get a little bit more extra damage. But here in the arena, it's not. Also, though, it can be effective if I want to keep them at distance. So if they keep coming in on me, particularly if they have one of those shorter weapons, the sword or the painted guardian sword or bandit's knife, something like that, then I can try to keep them at distance. You know, when they get close to me, throw in a combustion. So I haven't spent any stats in dexterity, which I believe will make your combustion cast just a little bit quicker, or any of your timers. If you have high dexterity, it will be a little bit faster. So it's not really going to be that effective. But it's another tactic, you know, utilized to keep them away a little bit. I think that's his one-hander. Yep, that's his one-hander. Crushing weapon. Like I said before, if you can learn to use your strength weapons effectively, man, it can do a lot of damage. But they're slow, easy to parry, and yep, as I always say, I winged out a couple parries there too much. But that, I'm not trying to wing out parries and hopefully just get lucky and catch him. I know that he's swinging more than once or twice, so I'm hoping to catch with the second or third or maybe even fourth swing if I last that long. And as you can see, it worked once or twice. He was obviously not locked onto me, or his lock got broken or whatever, but he swung that in the totally wrong direction, and I decided to punish him for that. So, throw the blazing knife, catch him right in the middle of his casting in this force. Be a very effective tool for that. And this force is going to be very effective unless he's predicting where I'm going to roll, and then casting it at me and not locked on. It can be effective, but if he's locked on, he's not going to catch me. All I got to do is roll to the side, and you're not going to get hit by that. So, I don't know what happens here. I don't know why he stops. Maybe he's trying to quit out, and then he just turns his back to me. That's never a good idea. Right there. I believe that to be a canceled backstab. So basically what happened there is he backstabbed me, and at the same time, I threw an attack at him. Both of them landed, so both of them got canceled out. So I didn't take any damage from the backstab, and I don't believe he took any damage from my attack either. Not exactly 100% sure on how that works, but I've experienced that a few times. So here, this is what I was talking to you about in the first part of the video. So I switched it up. I'm going to go ahead and use the Butcher's Knife. I like the Butcher's Knife. It's a buffable weapon. This one's a plus 15, just regular old Butcher's Knife. I like to use the powdered buffs, not the spell buffs, because I don't have to waste a 2-minute slot to use them. I get a little bit more variety from, meaning that I can use the gold pine resin, I can use the charcoal resin, or I can use the rotted resin to get the different effects. So the only drawback to that is you cannot go buy, except for, to my knowledge, you can only buy a certain number of the gold pine resin to give yourself lightning. You can go buy as many of the charcoal pine resin as you want to utilize the fire, and the same with the poison. But it would take forever to farm gold pine resin from the mushrooms in the forest. And I'm not sure if I'm willing to do that at this point. So I have a few, but I'm not going to... I don't think I'm going to go farm for those. So, anyway, this is the last battle in the series. So, like I said, if you have any comments, please leave comments as to how I can get better. If you want to subscribe, go ahead. If you like the video, please leave it a like, please subscribe, and we will be back with some more arena battles, and the war for today is over.